Okay, Wildcats. Today we're looking at Friday, April 3rd, divide polynomials on page 63. If you would, update your table of contents. Okay, now your table of contents are updated. Let's take a look at the notes. Dividing polynomials on page 63. Dividing polynomials methods. Method 1, factor. Method 2, long division. Method 3, synthetic division. Okay, so if you would, update your notes. Now your notes are updated. Let's take a look at the examples. All right, dividing polynomials on page 63. Now example 1. Now example 1 and 2 we're going to factor. Okay, and there we go, just aligning a little bit. Example 1, so to factor we know 2 parentheses. There's nothing we can do with the x minus 3. All right, now we know that x times x make x squared. Now we need to find all the combinations to make negative 15. So let's do that here. So 1 times negative 15 is negative 15. Now we're looking for the combination that makes a positive 2. So 1 minus 15 is negative 14. That doesn't work. Okay, now let's try 2. Doesn't work. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. 3 minus 5 is negative 2. We have the 2, but it's negative, so we're going to switch signs. So negative 3 times positive 5 is negative 15. Negative 3 plus 5 is 2. So this works. So it's x minus 3, x plus 5. Okay. Now, x minus 3 divided by x minus 3 is 1. So you're left with 1x plus 5. Okay. All right, go ahead and finish up example 1. All right, now let's take a look at example 2. Now, example 2, you're going to factor by grouping because there's 4 terms. So we can factor out a 1x squared, which leaves x minus 2. And here we're going to factor out a negative 4, which leaves x minus 2. Divided by, now to factor this, we have 2 parentheses. We know that x and x make x squared. Now we need to find all the combinations that multiply to give you 16 and combine to be 10. So we know that 1 times 16 is 16. 1 plus 16 is 17. That doesn't work because remember, we're looking for 10. So now 2 times 8 equals 16. 2 plus 8 is 10. Well, that works. We get the 16 and the 10. So our factors are x plus 2, x plus 8. Okay. Now we're going to continue working on the numerator. So that's x squared minus 4. We combine these times x minus 2. Okay. Now that's divided by x plus 2, x plus 8. Now x squared minus 4 factors to be x plus 2, x minus 2, still times x minus 2. Divided by x plus 2, x plus 8. Now, x plus 2 divided by x plus 2 is 1. So your final answer is x minus 2 times x minus 2 divided by x plus 8. Right? And we can leave it like that. Okay, go ahead and finish up example 2. All right, now let's take a look at example 3. Now, example 3, we're going to use synthetic division. Okay, now synthetic division, you said x minus 3 equal to 0. So you add 3 to both sides, and x equals 3. That number goes right there. Okay, and then you take the terms in front here. So that's 1, negative 2. Now, this is 1x to the 4th minus 2x cubed, but we're missing the squared, so that's plus 0x squared. You have to have 432, and then plus 3x to the 1 plus 1. You have to have each exponent. So that's why we're going to put a 0 here, a 3, and then a 1. Okay, bring down the 1. 3 times 1 is 3. Negative 2 and 3 is 1. 3 times 1 is 3. 0 and 3 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 and 9 is 12. 3 times 3 is 36. 1 and 36 is 37. Now, when you divide by exponents, the power decreases. So this was x to the 4th. Now this is x cubed. So your answer is 1x cubed plus 1x squared plus 3x plus 12 plus 37 divided by x minus 3. Okay. All right, example 4. Now we're going to do long division. Okay. And actually, I'm gonna make a change here. I think it'd be a good idea if we did this one with long division. So I'm going to change the problem. Let's change it to x to the 4th minus 2x cubed plus 3x plus 1 divided by x minus 3. So you can see how they compare. So you put the x minus 3 here. 1x to the 4th minus 2x cubed plus 0x squared, just like here, plus 3x plus 1. Okay, so now we ask ourselves, what do you multiply x by to give you x to the 4th? The answer to that is 1x cubed. Okay, so 1x cubed times 1x is 1x to the 4th. 1x cubed times negative 3 is negative 3x cubed. Now, you subtract, so minus becomes plus. Now that cancels, you're left with 1x cubed. Bring down the plus 0x squared. Now, what do you multiply to 1x by to give you 1x cubed? The answer to that is plus 1x squared. Now we multiply. 1x squared times 1x is 1x cubed. 1x squared times negative 3 is negative 3x squared. We subtract, becomes a plus. We get 3x squared. Bring down the plus 3x. Now, what do you multiply 1x by to give you 1x squared? The answer to that is plus 3x. Now you multiply 3x times 1x is 3x squared. 3x times negative 3 is negative 9x. But we subtract, that becomes plus 12x. Well, the answer to ask yourself is, what do I multiply that? The answer is plus 12. This, by the way, is the remainder. I almost forgot to write that down. Okay. So then bring down the plus 1. And then 12x times 1 is 12x. 12 times negative 3 is negative 36. Subtract, becomes positive 37. So our remainder is 37. So we can see here that this answer is the same. You see the lining up there. Okay. All right, now we need to change the assignment since I changed the example. So if you would turn the page, let's change question number 4. Okay, we're going to change question number 4 to x to the 4th minus 3x cubed plus 4x plus 2 divided by x minus 2. Okay, now number 3, I want to use synthetic division. Okay, in 4, I want to use long division. Okay, and then in number 1, I want you to factor. And number 2, I want you to factor. So your work should look something like this. In number 1, leave space for multiplying. Find the combinations. And in number 2, you're going to need some lines of work to factor. Okay. And then number 3, your work's going to look like this. And number 4, your work's going to look like this. All right. There you go. Start working on the assignment and have a wonderful Wildcat day.